You want to stay on? I'm gonna tell you were annoying. You want me
Go ahead.
I gotta wait for it to go.
You're good. It's already going, bud.
Oh, it's going. Okay. Well, hey. Well, bloopers and everything. Welcome back to another episode of Wisco Fanatics. I got Tyler here. Pretty soon we're going to be ramping up doing those Friday episodes. I just want to show them in people's faces. That's going to be really fun. We just planned a couple actually. Tyler just planned one for me and myself. So you'll still get me and Tyler doing some.
You said me and myself.
Oh, myself and Tyler. Sorry,
yeah. I was like, all right. Well, you enjoy that show. I'll be watching, I guess.
Tyler will be watching on Friday. Man, it's been one of those days. That's all I gotta say. A lot of beer to put out. Busy day. But today we are going to talk a lot of Brewers. Yes, this is immediately after loss. Let's go into Sting. Also, it was really shitty to lose to the Pirates because we never lost to the Pirates when we were younger. But it happens.
Still barely have.
Yeah, and it happens. It's just one of those things. Brewers are in a bad streak. Haters in a bad streak. But law of averages. That's our new thing around here. Law of averages. Everything's gonna flip around. Tim, how you doing, buddy? So Tyler wanted to start talking about the Bucks. So what do you want to talk about?
So, actually, real quick, I just want to put on look on the bottom. We got that nice new Wisco Ball logo on there. We got that looking good. I got my Green Bay Nirvana shirt on. This thing's actually pretty sweet. It's really comfortable too. So, if you go to wiscofanatics.com/Wisco Ball, you can get Wisco Fanatics stuff and you can get Wisco Ball stuff. So I got my first Wisco Ball shirt. And the Wisco Fanatics shirts actually look really nice. The logo is really big on them, so they look really good. So definitely want to thank Tyler for that. It was actually cool. I got to meet him on Saturday at Mill Street Day in Plymouth, so that was cool. I actually got to meet him. He's a cool guy. So it's cool that he's sponsoring the show with us. So with the Bucks news, the two things that I really just wanted to throw out there were one, Chris Middleton had a wrist surgery. He's expected to be ready by the beginning of the season. And then the other thing was Pat Connaughton signed a 3-year contract extension. So I don't know what your thoughts are on those two things.
Well, one, we're going to have to give a new contract Chris Middleton either, during this season or immediately after this season when we win our second title in 3 years. So definitely keep Chris as good as possible. Excuse me. We obviously saw the impact of him not on the court this year. So there's that. Chris Middleton is one of our best players, one of the most underrated players in the league. There's no question about it. And Pat Connaughton, with that news of a new 3-year deal, sounds like he's going to be a Buck for life, man. Nothing wrong with that. We love Pat Connaughton. He's the ultimate glue guy, ultimate dirty guy. And not in the term of him being a dirty player, but he isn't afraid to get dirty. Scrap on the floor, get the rebounds. He always ends up bloody like 6 times during the season.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how. The ball will hit him. He'll get hit with an elbow from a fan. I don't know what's happening. But Pat Connaughton always ends up bloody. But we love Pat Connaughton around here.
Yes.
The Bucks in general, I don't think Horst gets enough credit. I'm just speaking from the heart now. He doesn't get enough credit. There's that news about Bobby Portis. We posted that quote on Bobby Portis getting interviewed in the Summer League. I don't think Horst gets enough credit for getting good people. And I'm not just talking like basketball players because they're good. Like Bobby Portis is one of our best players. He's a great player on the court.
Yep.
Pat Connaughton's a great player. Giannis is a great player. And obviously I know Horst didn't draft Giannis. But, Giannis has something to do with this too. Now I'm thinking about it out loud. We have a lot of good people on our team. We have the teammate of the year in the entire association on our team, Drew Holiday. So
that was Horst.
Chris Middleton's a good guy. Brooke Lopez is a great guy. Like the Bucks overall are just great people, and they're a great team. So I'm very excited to watch them win another title. I don't know about you, but it's going to be awesome, man.
It's great culture. Culture is the word that I would use. And now the Bucks really have locked in their core, basically 6 deep. For multiple seasons through at least next season, and then Chris Middleton's not going anywhere. He'll get extended with the Bucks, and then you're looking at Drew Holiday probably going to retire a Buck. Chris Middleton, after he gets his extension, probably going to retire a Buck. Giannis, I don't foresee anything that takes him away from Milwaukee. Will probably end up retiring a Buck. Pat Connaughton probably going to end up retiring a Buck. Bobby is locked in for 4 years. Brooke Lopez, if he decides he's going to play it, anything after this season, whether it's a veteran minimum deal with the Bucks, I really don't see him wanting to play anywhere else just because he has the freedom to do what he wants on the Bucks.
Yeah,
probably going to retire a Buck. And now Pat Connaughton probably going to retire a Buck now with this season, and then he's got 3 years after that. I did hear Wojnarowski reported that has a player option on it, so it's through the 24-25 season with a player option for 25-26. So, I mean, you're basically looking at everybody that's crucial to the Bucks core being locked in to play into their mid to late 30s as a Milwaukee Buck.
And then, we didn't even mention, some of the young guys. Mamu's looking really good in the summer league. He had a really nice block. He dunked on somebody. He had 28-9 the other day, so that was awesome. Yeah. So we have him under our control for a while. We just drafted Marjan Beauchamp, which you were correct on his last name. He's looking pretty good. I mean, he's going to have his up and downs, and I just wanted to say this. We need to temper our expectations because I saw people going crazy when he was making a couple threes. He does have good form. I'll say that.
Yes. Yep.
I agree with your statement. You would like to release a little bit higher. That's the only tweak, but that's very minimal. Yep. You can get that a little bit higher. The same release point, same quickness. He's looking good. He's long. Once he figures out and catches up to the speed of the NBA game, the angles and all that, he'll be completely okay. Again, his locker is in between Drew Holiday and Giannis, like we mentioned last week. Yeah. He's going to get coached up. He's going to learn how to be an NBA player. So the Bucks, really, I mean, it's going to be the Bucks in Boston for the next how many ever years, man. If Cleveland can get a star, I mean, I know can't think of their point guard's name right now.
Darius Garland.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a solid player. He averaged 20 points per game last year,
something like that.
Yeah, he averaged 20. They got a pretty young team too. They could be pretty good, but. I mean, the Nets just exploded right in front of our face. I mean, they're still exploding at this moment. Miami's always in the mix. Philadelphia is another second-round playoff exit from blowing everything up. So, I mean, really, it's Bucks in Boston, in my opinion. So,
yep, I agree.
Get ready to deal with those annoying fans for the next 10 years, Tyler.
Good. Great. Grand. Wonderful.
Oh, dude. We got Giannis on our side, so I'll be okay.
I know. Yeah.
I know I'll be able to sleep at night. He said, man, I wish I had a locker between. Man, me too, man. Me too.
Right?
Shit, those are two good people to hang out with.
If you're looking at bringing in a rookie and wanting him to be able to contribute and learn the ways of the game right away, and you could pick any two players on the Bucks or even in the league that you would want to put your locker between, or that you as a franchise would want to put your rookie in between, I don't know that you get a better option than arguably the most humble superstar, I would say, in the league right now, maybe ever, and the teammate of the year. I don't know where else you would want to put him. Two defensive-minded but still offensively skilled players, veterans of the league, guys that have worked their way up in the league. I don't know if there's any two other players you'd want to put him in between.
Well, again, teammate of the year. So the guy is just always there for his team. He's team first. He plays on both ends of the court, so he's a great team player that way too. Not just off the court. He's a great team player on the court. He was the only player to, I believe, average 15 points, shoot 50% field goal, and 40% behind the arc, 3-point line. He was the only player in the NBA last year with those numbers and averaged 5 assists. So right there, that shows Drew Holiday. And then Giannis, the guy just comes to the podium with the corniest dad jokes from 50 years ago after he just dunked on you 6 times. It doesn't get better than that. If you don't love Giannis, you got issues with yourself, okay? That's all I'm going to say. And this is just going to foreshadow next week's episode. Clearly, Andre Iguodala is jealous of Giannis. Just another guy jealous of Giannis. We are going to cover it more next week. We wanted a little bit more time to crunch some more numbers, but
I want to have a little more energy too.
Yeah, it's going to be good next week. You're going to want to listen to that because there's no way in hell Rasheed Wallace would be better than Giannis, and we're just going to leave it at that. But it's very annoying.
We'll dive deeper next week. Do you want to answer Andrew's question? Andrew asked if locker proximity is really that important.
Teams are small and he's.
I can think of a scenario where
here's what I'm thinking. So the rookie's going to make mistakes, right? Because he's a rookie. Rookie mistakes. He's going to have his ups and downs. So to me, when he makes a mistake and he's going to put his head down and you go to the locker room, why would you not want him next to Giannis? A guy who took his bumps and bruises to get where he was, because Giannis wasn't always great, right? He came in as a 6'9", 196-pound, scrawny little dude.
He struggled for 3 years.
I got the bobblehead up there from his rookie year. Me and Tyler went to a game.
I got it. It's somewhere.
It's in this room. And the poster. But, you have a guy like Giannis and a guy like Drew who's going to keep his spirit up and tell him, okay, well, when you see this, maybe attack it this way, or don't dribble so hard, or look to pass, or here's the weak side. They're going to explain stuff and break it down for him a little bit better so he could see things where he's not caught up to speed yet. So to me, it is important.
That's the exact same situation I pictured, was him sitting with his elbows on his knees, staring at his feet. You're going to have Giannis who's going to explain the game to him, and Drew who's literally going to come and grab him by the chin and tilt his head up and tell you to keep your head up. Yeah. So, in super specific scenarios like that, yes. But like you said, teams are small and they spend a lot of time together in practice. Just my experience from basketball practices, the teams aren't always 100% together. Sometimes guards split off to do shooting drills while big men split off to do other stuff. So it's not always 100% integrated, but they do spend a lot of time together, obviously, traveling and stuff like that too. But in super specific situations like that, where there's an opportunity for him to learn something, sitting across the locker room from Chris Middleton and Brooke Lopez would be different from sitting in between Drew and Giannis. Plus, then he just gets that opportunity to see how those two conduct themselves during game day and on a day-by-day basis, that he gets the opportunity to see how those two carry themselves as professionals as well, as he's now coming into the league.
Yeah, you got NBA champions, you got gold medalists. I mean, you got all defensive team guys, you got MVPs. These guys have been through everything. So I know it's something, and we're kind of nitpicking at it, but it's just one of those small things that could really end up mattering in my eyes. It's just one of those things.
Well, and you're bringing him into the culture right away too. So you're going to have. That's how you continue to build culture, is by bringing in the young guys to see it firsthand from the guys that embody it.
Hey, Andrew, you're welcome. That's what we're here for. That's what we do, man.
That's a good question. That is
a good question. Some people might not think of it like that, so that's why we're here. You want to get started on some baseball, man? Let's talk about this first Pirates and Brewers game, man. All right, I'll start. Aaron Ashby started. He went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 3 Ks. He looked a little bit better. He was struggling with command a little bit in his last couple starts, and the walk number does concern me with him. He does give up a lot of home runs because he likes to miss his spots, but I thought he looked okay in this one. The Pirates, I just want to give the Pirates credit. The Pirates got a lot of young talent on that team, man.
Dude, O'Neal Cruz is going to be a stud. I like him already.
Yeah, he's going to be a monster. He's a 6'7" shortstop. How do you not like that? And he's lefty. He's so fast. There's just
he's a monster, dude. He had a ground out that came off of his shoelaces, and he threw it from below his knee. Just an absolute strike. After the ball bounced off the pitcher's glove.
He's got a rocket arm, dude. First time that I saw him, because I don't watch a lot of Pirates games, I'm not going to lie to you. There was a ground ball. I believe they were playing the Padres, if I remember correctly, but it was a month ago. He got the ball and he threw it to first. It was just a regular ground out. He threw the ball 97 miles per hour. I'm like, what? That should not be legal. Let's just skip the baseball. Matt, you're a baseball guy, man. Matt's a baseball. Hey, Dan, what's up, buddy? I was talking about you today. Well, anyways, Milner looked good. Gott looked good. The always good Devin Williams looked good. Tyler's going to have some ridiculous stats about him later. Yep. That guy is just an absolute stud. And Josh Hader got the save in this game. We'll talk about Josh Hader later as well. Yes, he has been struggling, but we don't need to kill our players, okay? We've covered this before where they understand that they're playing bad, but you don't need to pile on. You don't need to kick people when they're down. We don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes. In this game, Adames, another home run, but it was a solo shot. And the thing about the Brewers that just bothers me so much is, yes, they're fourth in the MLB in total home runs, right? But they're also sixth in the MLB in grounded into double plays. So when you really put those two things together, all of our home runs, it seems like all of them are solo shots because we're grounding into double plays and hurting ourselves. And there was actually an at-bat today where I was telling you, Adames looked so good on the 2-2 pitch where he laid off the slider low and away. The next pitch was literally the same spot, literally the same pitch, and he reaches forward and grounds out. It's like, why do you guys do this? Why do you do this to me? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, Colton Wong does it too. I feel like Colton Wong is starting to come along a little bit. He made a really nice play on defense today, but he's still pressing at the plate. The Brewers need the break very badly.
I think some of that stuff is it comes down to guessing what the opposing pitcher is going to throw.
Right.
And whether they're just guessing wrong all the time or whatever it is. I could look into stuff like chase rate and, outside zone swing percentage. I can look at some of that stuff and see if there's anything telling in there. Matt, I don't know that there's ever a good time for a double play. Just because it's always just two outs in one play. The Brewers had it. It was a game.
I understand what you're saying, though, Matt. It just kind of feels like the Brewers are gaining momentum, and then we ground into a double play, and we kind of lose all momentum. So I understand what you're saying.
The third game of the last Pirates series. So they had 7 base runners in the first 3 innings, 3 double plays in the first 4 innings. So they kept getting the lead runner on and then grounding into double plays. So it handicaps your ability to run. Top of the 9th. Yeah, top of the 9th. Having a guy on second base feels like a little bit easier of a situation to try to score a run than first and second with 1 out, because then you're just adding a force out. But it's still better than bunting and giving your opponent free outs. So I will die on that hill.
Not wrong. You will die on that hill. I know you will.
Yep.
Back to this game, though. I got to ask you a question now, because I'm just wondering, why did they send Keston Hiura down? He actually played very well in this Pirates series, in my opinion. So I just want to get your take on it. Matt, if you want to go in the comments, it just doesn't make sense to me. It felt like he was starting to turn the corner.
So I'm just gonna switch this to the Brewers Twins because I think it applies to last night and today. Okay. With last night being such a late game, and what did they use? 4 or 5 different pitchers last night, I think.
They used 6.
6 pitchers last night? Yeah. Alexander, Gustave, Milner, Boxberger, Williams, Hader. This kind of ties into the Hader thing, too. The Brewers used 6 pitchers last night in a game that ended 11:30, and they basically played 12 hours later. I didn't think Boxberger, Williams, or Hader should have been used today at all. So when I saw that Hiura was sent down in favor of a pitcher, which was Sadzik, who didn't end up pitching today, to me it just signaled that they needed more pitching today on the short turnaround. So like I said, I didn't expect to see Boxberger, Williams, or Hader today, but obviously in the tie game, they're trying to get a win that changes quickly. Ultimately, now I wouldn't expect to see any of them tomorrow.
Yep.
Especially now with they're doing a long flight out to the West Coast. So that was my thought. And honestly, when it comes to the taxi squad thing, I think they can call him right back up. So it wouldn't be within the realm of possibility that Keston Hiura is just right back up tomorrow.
Okay, I can see that. It's just, I don't know. I felt like he would, he made a really nice catch. He had a couple of games with multiple hits. I mean, he was, and I texted you. I believe that was on Saturday when I texted you. And I was like, man, is Hiura back? I mean, is Kest Daddy back? Is what I said, actually. And he was playing well, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. We could switch to the second game if you would like. Brewers, they won the first game 4-3. That Hader ended up getting the save. The second game, they lost 4-3. So Woody pitched in this game. He had 6 innings pitched. He gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs. He had 9 Ks. And Woody, I just want to say, has been an absolute monster since coming back. I mean, I know we've been saying it, but he is on a tear right now.
So I put together.
keep going.
I put together his stats from his 3 games since he's been back from the injured list. Those 3 games, 17 innings, 12 hits, 3 walks, 4 earned runs, 27 strikeouts. So essentially per game, he's averaging 4 hits, a walk, 9 strikeouts, and 1 1/3 runs per game.
Yikes. For everybody on the Brewers that needs a break, Woody, obviously, because he was on the injured list, does not need a break because he is absolutely killing it. Boxberger pitched very well in this game. I know he gave up an earned run. He gave up the home run, but he's been so solid. He gets past. Milner was good. Stave was good. Milner had 3 Ks in his inning pitch, so he's really, really good. Urias with a solo shot. Again, another home run, but it's a solo shot. I feel like every time I talk about a home run with the Brewers, it's a solo shot. And it's heartbreaking to me. Honestly, think of it, all the home runs, and you see the Yankees putting up runs, and they hit a lot of home runs as well. How many of their home runs are 2-run, 3-run home runs? And that's why they lead and they score so many runs all the time. And they're, they have 4-run leads, 3-run leads. The Brewers are always in these 1-run games. And yes, they have a good record of 1-run games because they have a good record overall. But, you can't just keep winning 1-run games all the time, I don't know. What needs to change? We talked about it. We talk about this.
They just need to get on base more is really what it is.
Yeah. And we've tried to talk about this before about do they be more patient? Do they take more pitches? But then, you have a pitcher that is attacking you. So then you try to switch up and you try to attack the first pitch, So I don't know what needs to happen. I thought in yesterday's game, since we were talking about Twins, I thought yesterday's game they looked a lot more balanced with Renfroe back. But then you come to today and the only run scored is another solo home run. So I don't know what needs to happen, but obviously they have the All-Star break coming up, so they are going to figure it out. I'm going to read Matt's comment. He said, I was shocked that the entire A bullpen was used today in a tie game. I would have saved them until a lead or just for the next series, especially since Milner has been dealing and other guys have been picking up the slack. We talk about this all the time, and Hobie Milner definitely does not get the credit that he deserves because he has been phenomenal this season. He has a weird release, but it works, man. He gets people out at the end of the day. Milner has been awesome, man.
He was in contention for my power pair pitcher of the week, but his last 3 outings, which includes last night, 3 innings pitched, only 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, no walks, no runs. That's Milner in the last week. And like Jake said, I've said it, he doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah, Hobie Milner has been a stud. Everybody in the Brewers pitching staff, I feel, has had their really, really hot streak. Obviously, we expect Burns to be good. We expect Hader and Williams to be good. Same thing with Woody. But Lauer started the season crazy. He's actually turning it around again, after he gave up a ton of home runs. He was just missing spots. And we talked about that too. But Hobie Milner is a guy that nobody really talks about, and he's just consistent. He pitches his 1 inning. He gives up 1 or 0 hits, and he'll strike a batter or 2 out, and he just walks back to the dugout, I would have definitely used him today, in my opinion, because he didn't pitch the last game in Pittsburgh. I know he pitched yesterday, but he's a guy that can pitch multiple innings. So I would have used him as well, Matt. That's very smart. You got any other notes on the second game of the Pirates?
The second game, Keston Hero, like to your point that he's been hitting better, he had 2 hits in that game. Willie Adames had 3 hits in that game. I know you're going to talk about Willie a little bit later, but we can go to the third game of that series.
All right, third game of this series. The aforementioned Eric Lauer pitched this game. He pitched very well. I understand he gave up a home run, which has been his only issue this year. But he had 7 Ks, 6 hits, 2 earned runs over 5 innings pitched, only the 1 walk. So I love that he's keeping the walks down. That shows me that he's commanding his pitches better. Obviously, gave up a home run, but it happens. Gott gave up 2 home runs, and Gonzalez gave up a home run. And the one that Chichi Gonzalez gave up was really the heartbreaker. That was the one that ended the game. Former Brewer, Daniel Vogelback hit it, but Vogelback's actually playing pretty well for him, I'm not going to lie. Just going to throw that out there. Gustave, he looked good in his outing. He had 1 inning, two Ks, so he looked good. Brett Suter, man, I don't understand why they took out Chichi Gonzalez or they took out Suter and put in Chichi Gonzalez. Do you understand that move? Doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't matter anymore because he's gone. He's got DFA'd, so he's not coming back.
Yeah, I know, but that move by Council there was a little bit of a head scratch. I understand that Suter, had multiple runners on and stuff like that, and he walked. He gave up 2 hits and a walk, and it was 1 2/3. But to me, I would have kept Suter guy and just let him deal.
So that's the only thing I can think of.
He didn't have a ground ball in that game, I guess. I don't know, but to me, that was just a bad move. Obviously, if you watch this game, you know that McCutchen hit a home run in the bottom of the ninth to cut the lead to 2. Urias had 2 RBIs. Brusso
and he had played some good defense at second base, actually, too. Urias
he did. He did. Adames, another RBI. It's just this last game is the one that really bothers me when I think about, this series. I felt like the third game was the game that we really, really should have won. But, God, I don't even want to talk about the Gonzalez-Suter stuff anymore. I talk so much about it with other people. I'm just pissed off at that move. But what do you got?
Not much. With this week, I've been a little under the weather, so I haven't had as much opportunity to dive into a ton of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I promise I'll get more with next week's. Plus, the Brewers had 2 off days, so there's a little bit less to draw from because they only played 5 games instead of 7 games in the last week. So I did mention Urias playing some good defense at second base. Brasso and Davis both had 2 hits. Trevor Gotts had a couple rough innings since he got back from the injured list, but he is just fresh back from the injured list. He'd been pitching really well before that, and since then, since that game, he's pitched well. So, he just give him a little bit of time to get back into form, and I think Trevor Gott will be fine.
Yeah, the ball that Chichi threw to Vogie. Oh my God, that was the hanger of all hangers in my opinion, and Vogelback did not miss it. I'll just say that. We switched to Brewers and Twins. Talk about last night's game. Fan favorite, Jason Alexander.
First things first. Minnesota, you had the opportunity, and you've seen the example in Milwaukee that you can have a roof while still being able to have your stadium open on nice days, and you're just chose to ignore this giant glaring feature that you missed. And we're just like, nah, we're just not going to put a roof on it. We could, but we're not going to.
Okay, we're talking about it now. You have a football team that literally plays in a dome where weather does not freaking matter. But now a baseball team where weather can stop the game, you built an open stadium. If that does not explain the state of Minnesota, nothing will. That is all I'm going to say.
That's good promo right there.
They're both brand new. They're both brand new stadiums.
They are. They all both within last 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. I don't know when US Bank was built.
I think the baseball stadium's older, isn't it? They were built very closely next to each other.
Yeah.
Twins should have built the roof, or they should have also called that game after the 5th inning with the 3rd rain delay. Yeah, that was.
They can't after they have to play at least 7 to call the game.
Oh, really? That's actually a rule?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Otherwise, they have to resume it.
Well, there you go. I didn't know that. I just learned something today live on the show in front of everybody. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, they should have put a damn roof on there, or at least a retractable roof.
Retractable. I don't know why every baseball stadium that's built nowadays doesn't have a retractable roof, because then you can guarantee that you never have to deal with cold or rain.
Yep, I agree. Thought it was 5.
I'm pretty sure it's 7, but I'll look it up just to make sure.
Ooh, baseball fanatic Matt is battling Wisco fanatic Tyler. This will be interesting.
Watch it be 6.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Then you both win. Then everybody wins, and that's what we want around here. I'm gonna talk about the game a little bit here. Alexander pitched 4 innings, 3 hits, which is actually pretty low for him, and I like that. 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 1 K. Gustave pitched an inning.
Oh, they changed it in 2020.
Did they? Is it 5?
Yeah, it's 5, Matt. Good job, Matt.
Oh, that's
They changed. Yeah, they changed it in 2020.
got a boy, Matt. Milner looked good in his outing. You know, we talk about Hoby Milner a lot. Boxberger, 2 hits. Didn't give up an gave up an earned run. I had to go to bed because I had to wake up at 4 in the morning, so I didn't stay up till 11:30. Williams and Hader looked good yesterday. Hader had 3 Ks. Broadcaster said it. Oh, there you go. McCutcheon hit a home run in the first inning. That one got out of there very quickly. He
That was
looked
a
like
tough pitch to hit out too, because he had to kind of reach for that one, and it like line drive over the fence.
That's that old man strength right there, baby. That's what Andrew McCutcheon showed off. Peterson an RBI. Adames jacked another homer. With that home run from Adames, he actually tied J.J. Hardy for the franchise record for most home runs by a shortstop before the All-Star break with 18. So there's my little stat of the week for you.
Attaboy. You worked J.J. Hardy into the broadcast, so I'm proud of you.
Dude, that's what I was going to say. I brought J.J. Hardy back to life, baby. Let's go.
Do
you remember those?
You're probably wearing a J.J. Hardy jersey right now.
No. This is the yellow jersey. The only other one I have is a Ryan Braun, actually.
I'm
mad I don't
I used to have a Gallardo jersey. I have Greinke, I have Yelich, I have Adames, I have an old spring training jersey my grandpa gave me, and then I have a bunch of T-shirts. I have a bunch of T-shirt jerseys.
I got the jersey tees. I was big on the jersey tees. I had a jersey tee for Ricky Weeks. I had a jersey tee for Prince Fielder. I had a jersey tee for Ben Sheets when I was a little kid. Ben Sheets was the man.
I had a Gallardo one. I had a Braun one. Ricky Weeks, I had that one. I think I have a Jeremy Burnitz one, honestly, in a bag. So I think I have that one too. Yeah, that's an old one.
Tim has a Fielder jersey. Hey, I was just talking about Prince Fielder the other day. Fielder and Braun were something magical to watch, man. Oh,
that 3-4 hole between those two.
Yeah, because Braun was clutch. You knew Fielder was clutch. I mean, and if you didn't pitch, and Braun got a lot of pitches because they didn't want to face Fielder, So, if you didn't want to pitch to Fielder, you pitched to Braun, and Braun could hit 35 homers a year too. Obviously, he was juicing for a little bit, but I don't care. I am in the minority where I like steroids in baseball, okay? I like home runs. I like strikeouts. I don't give a shit, okay? He said Eric Thames.
Jeremy Burnitz and Eric Thames.
Man, we're working all the Brewers.
Part of the first base carousel the Brewers have had for the last 10 years.
Eric Thames was a monster for a little bit there for us. Just had
Mr. Korea.
Freaking biceps, yeah, Mr. Korea. Man.
Tim just got Adames. Did you get the Brew Crew jersey? I want to get one of those.
The City Edition? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
those are sweet.
Corey Hart.
They tried to make him a first baseman.
Bro, I used to hate Corey Hart when I was a little kid because I hated how he looked, but he was so freaking good. He was just a monster. The person that I really loved the most was Ricky Weeks. I'm not going to lie to you. Ricky Weeks was
I think I still have a Ricky Weeks bobblehead. I might not have it out, but I know I have at least one Ricky Weeks bobblehead. I have a Derek Turnbow bobblehead, the one that has like the real hair. I have that.
I have a name for you. So the other day we were thrift shopping, and I saw a Brewers bobblehead, Casey McGee.
Casey McGee.
I almost bought it. I was like, dude, it was like $3.99. It has no bat, but it's still Casey McGee. I should have bought that son of a bitch, but the bat wasn't in there, so it's not as cool.
I was glad I got lucky at Goodwill earlier this year for $6.99. I found a Yasmani Grandal, and I found a Lorenzo Cain Gold Glove bobblehead. Yeah, I got lucky with that one.
Nice. Grandal, I used to love that guy. I wasn't juicing. Like, I think his ceiling gets a little blown too much out of proportion. Kind of like, Tyler.
There should be no ill will towards Severino. The drug that he was positive for was a testosterone increasing drug because it's a fertility drug. So him and his wife were trying to conceive a baby. He wasn't looking for some sort of competitive advantage. That's why he didn't appeal his suspension. He just took it, sat it, did his time. Now he's back. So there should be no ill will towards Pedro Severino.
And I'm going to talk about Braun, and I'm sure somebody's had this opinion before in their life, but Braun always used to get the oblique injuries, right, on the side. I really think that's why he was taking the damn steroids, because he was sick and tired of having a hurt oblique. Toughening up those muscles a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not really sure. But Yeah, Braun was still clutch. Even if you took the steroids away and he wasn't hitting homers, the guy still got clutch hits. I'll just say that.
Competitive advantage for baby making.
Hey man, that's why we say we don't know what's going on in their daily
That's
lives.
exactly
man.
it. Yep. Competitive exam. Yep. Competitive advantage for baby making. That's what it is.
He wanted to put 2 of them in there one time.
And as far as Braun is concerned, he kept Matt Kemp from LA from winning an MVP. So totally endeared for that because it's always FLA because I have no respect for the franchise. So there's that.
That's a good point.
Like we've talked about the Cardinals a whole bunch, and we can say the same thing for the Twins. Like, don't necessarily like them. I don't hate the Twins because they play in the AL and we barely ever play them, but it's still Minnesota, so whatever. But it's a situation where I still respect their franchises. The Dodgers, I have no respect for their franchise. Same with the Yankees. Like, I have no respect for the franchise, and Mets are really getting into that category too.
The Mets.
The Mets.
Wow.
Look at their payroll, dude.
I know. But you have 2 of the best pitchers in the game. It's going to be pretty high. I mean, and then Lindor is expensive. I mean, they got a lot of high-quality players, in my opinion. Yeah, Pete Alonso. That guy is straight power. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Straight power.
All right. You were talking about last night's game. Is there anything else you wanted to say about that one?
No, I just gave my cool stat about J.J. Hardy, so that made me feel good.
All right. I wanted to give Hobie Milner some credit for working out of a jam in the 7th inning. It was good to see that, to see Hobie Milner continue not allowing guys to score. Jason Alexander, for him to pitch after delays is a tough thing to do, to come back from being basically your body feeling like you're done for the day, but then you're not actually. 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 earned runs in 4 innings. That's all you need out of him. Hunter Renfroe is back, so that's good. And then Devin Williams got his 24th consecutive outing scoreless, and we can move into today's game.
So today's game, Ashby pitched. I didn't get to watch the start of the game, so I'll have to watch the highlights and see how he looked. But he did go 4 1/3.
He didn't do bad. He's progressing, coming back. He's another guy who's coming back from the injured list.
Yeah.
So he's working back, and he's getting better every start, I would say.
Well, God, I feel like this entire Brewers season, we have to, just watch a guy struggle coming off of the injured list, and then we have to work them back. And it's like, I feel like we can't get any momentum rolling because as soon as we get rolling a little bit, another guy goes back in the injured list. So that's why this All-Star break is so vital for the Brewers. Obviously, a 4-game stretch against the Giants before that happens, which starts tomorrow. But for today's game, Trevor got 1 2/3, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 2 Ks. So that's very, very nice to see. Boxberger, he had 2 walks, 1 hit in his inning, but no earned runs. Williams, no earned runs, and Hader obviously gave up the walk-off home run, so he had 3 earned runs. So his ERA is going to skyrocket, but
that's up to like 273.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not bad. The guy. Do you want to just talk about Hader? Because I want to talk about Josh Hader. If you want, I'll go first, or I'll let you go first, whichever one you're feeling. You want me to go first?
Let's talk about Josh Hader.
Okay, so first of all, yes, there is Josh Hader rumors. Nothing concrete, mostly from the fake news outlet with Wisconsin Sports Heroics. That's what we're going to call them from now on. I really don't even care anymore. We're just going to go for it.
It's clickbait.
We're just going to go for it. They're fake news. They're clickbait,
it's
whatever
clickbait.
you want to call them.
Yep.
They don't put any concrete stuff out, okay? So don't read that stuff and think that it's true, because it's not. None of them have credentials for anything, okay? Secondly, Josh Hader, we don't know what's happening at home. To me, when he talked about skipping on the All-Star game, I was really cluing in on what he was talking about. And he kept talking about being around his family. So it seems like he's distracted from his on-the-field stuff, and he really just wants to be around his wife and his baby. So to me, that's just the guy that needs the break. He's the one that needs it the most.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Simon said, I only get my news from Wisconsin Sports Heroics. Well,
it'll show once we start doing Packers discussions, Simon, that'll be where you get your news from.
Yeah, you're trying to trade for for Mark Andrews, I heard.
I forgot about that one, dude, until you brought that up. That was, oh my god.
Dude, that's the one where I was just. That's the one that took it over the hill for me.
Aaron Jones straight up for Scary Terry. Remember that one?
I was like, come on, man. You think that's happening, dude? Come on. They're not going to take a running back for a wide receiver when wide receivers last much longer in the NFL. Okay, and they're a much higher premium. You could draft a running back and hopefully get lucky. Obviously, the Packers have drafted 2 and got very, very lucky. They're going to be a big offense. But you could draft a wide receiver and get lucky too, But, it's easier for a running back, because you could just run them into the ground for 4 years. Okay, we're getting off topic. Anyways, I could talk Packers for 9,000 hours. Don't even need to research. Josh Hader. He just seems like a guy that just wants to be around his baby, wants to be around his wife. And
keep in mind, too, that with his wife and kid, she had, complications during the end of the pregnancy, too. So,
right. And we and my thought was we don't know if the baby is having complications, I mean, my daughter was born early, and we had to live for a week and a half in the hospital. So my daughter had to have a feeding tube. That was really hard to watch. I mean, my daughter is under 5 pounds. She's tiny, has the smallest head of all time, and they stick this tube up her face because she's not big enough, and we have to force feed her some stuff. I mean, that's hard emotionally on a person. I can't imagine trying to go out in front of 40,000 people and throw 99 miles per hour and strike 3 people out when they're all really, really good at hitting. I mean, you got other things on your mind, things happen. So all I'm saying is there's still people, they're going to make mistakes. And yes, Josh Hader is still the best closer in baseball. He's just having a rough patch. So
he literally is. I mean, he's still leading the league in saves, so he's still got that going. But, everything that you're saying is all to your point is all – we've said this a bunch of times, is that athletes are still people, and we need to remember that. Last year, Keston Hiura struggled big time while his mom was dealing with cancer.
Yeah.
This year, Josh Hader has had times where he's struggling. He had some times where he missed some games because his wife was dealing with complications during her pregnancy. Even if your baby's healthy, Jake, how much did you sleep in the first 2 weeks that you guys were home with Winter?
You just don't sleep very much. I'll be honest, because you're all even if you're trying to sleep and the baby's asleep, you're looking at that baby and you're like, oh my God, this is the most incredible.
You're getting a max 4 hours at a time when you have a baby.
Yeah. Because you have to wake them up because, I told you Winter was small. So we had to wake up every 2 hours and feed Winter. So Chantel had to get up every 2 hours and feed Winter and make sure she was getting bigger.
Now she has your cheeks, so it looks like you got up every 2 hours to feed her.
Hey, man, she just had a doctor appointment the other day, actually. And she's only 19 pounds, which is crazy. But she's 2.5 feet tall. So she's long. So she got her height from me. All her weight is right here.
Matt said it's time to trade everyone. Well, we could start with trading Josh Hader. Jake already mentioned the outlet to not be named suggested trading Josh Hader straight up for Aaron Judge, as if the Yankees would do that.
I think Matt would like that since he's a Cardinals.
I saw that. That was rough. And it said proposed trade in the title too, when literally no reputable place has said that could be a potential trade. And if you're gonna put trade rumors out, you gotta at least make them make sense a little bit.
I think their problem with their stuff is their wording. And I think he was trying to say this was his trade proposal, which is still stupid as hell, by the way. I'm just gonna say that out loud. But if you're going to make a trade proposal, you got to word it correctly, because now you're putting it out there that this was actually a trade proposal, like you're saying. That's how you read it. That's how everybody reads it. The Brewers offered Josh Hader for Aaron Judge. I was waiting to tell you this story until
it's misleading. Live. See, now that's what it is. The misleading titles. That is essentially the definition of clickbait.
Yeah. So I was actually talking to a fan of the show, Dan. Who calls us dicks every week, and yes, he's still a fan. I love Dan; he's a great guy. And then another guy came up from another company, and we were talking about Josh Hader getting traded, struggling, blah blah blah, right? And I was like, "Do you guys follow the page Wisconsin Sports Heroics?" I actually said this out loud. This is a real conversation, and I was like, "Because do not follow that page. It's awful." They just came up with an article about trading Josh Hader for Aaron Judge. And the other guy looks at me dead in the face and says, "Oh, yeah, that's where I saw that from." I said, "Yeah, don't do that. Come to my page."
That guy literally made that up.
I was like, we put out good stuff.
So we obviously have our weekly show. We do bonus episodes once a month, which is only going to be during the Packers off season now, because once Packers season starts, we're going to be doing Friday night Packers shows every single week. We're going to do one either the last Friday of July or the first Friday of August. It's going to be one or the other. Then we're going to do one right after preseason ends. Jake and I are going to do our last bonus episode of the summer on the first Friday of September. And then after that, we're going to be doing every week. Go ahead.
It's also the day before the Badgers start, by the way, September 2nd.
Yep. So that's actually the day before Jake's birthday as well. So we're going to explain some basics of basketball and football. And then after that, every single Friday is going to have a Packers show up through the first week of February. So we're going to have lots of stuff going on here. Obviously, we do all the shows live, so you can comment along and we can respond to you in the comments. Like Andrew earlier asked a really good question. We were able to respond to that, and he was able to respond back to us. That's why we like doing the show live, so we can interact with people. And then we like to put our stats of the week out there because we like sharing cool stats. We like doing the play of the week. We like sharing news when we get it. And now we're with Simon and Bryant, who are going to join us for the Packers shows. We've started the Wisco Confidential blog. So you can find that. It's through Blogger. We should probably start sharing those articles as we write them on the page so that people can see them more often. But we're going to continue putting out more content. We're not scaling anything back. We're doing more.
We're going to push more. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and now with having two more people, that's just what we're going to do. And Simon and Bryant are with us on the philosophy of the show, of doing things positively and optimistically, looking at how our teams can do things that other people might not think they can do, or, what a more negative or pessimistic fans think they can't do just because the last couple games didn't go well. So now it all of a sudden means that they can't do anything. So, we're going to continue doing that and getting more content out that way as well. And, hopefully this is what we do every day, all day for work someday.
It'll happen. But we need everybody in these comments right now. We need Matt. We need Tim. We need Andrew. Simon, obviously, is already coming over. But we need you guys to get all the people from Wisconsin Sports Heroics following that fake news to come on over here, join us, and comment on the show.
Where we prioritize quality.
Yeah. We don't say anything unless we know it's true, okay? Because we don't want to put out clickbait, And I know we're doing this live, but if we say something and you hear us say something, you're going to run with it because we said it, right? So we want to make sure that we have everything correct.
Or at least something logical to back it up. If we say, potentially like a trade discussion of some sort, or like when we do bold predictions, we are quite out front that we are doing bold predictions. We're not doing like this is a locked and loaded guaranteed thing that's going to happen. Right. If we make a bold prediction, this is a prediction. Here's how it could happen. So that's the type of quality that we want to promote, and the type of, just the the thinking, the thought process, critical thinking and perspective. That's another reason we wanted to bring in two more people with our Packers analysis, is we want more perspective. And then just
screw Brian right now, though, because he's a goddamn Twins fan.
Yeah, whatever. We got a split in their building, so in their stupid building that doesn't have a roof. Matt said he loves your guys' positive approach. The Brewers' offense is testing me in that area, and that's what it is. It's frustrating. You can be frustrated, but still have a positive outlook on it. It's like Lorenzo Cain is a perfect example. Christian Yelich is another good example. Like, if you watch these guys' body language while they're struggling, you can tell they know they're struggling. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they're not going on Facebook to read people's comments in Brewers groups on Facebook, but
thank God
the fans that are watching the games know that people are struggling. When a fan goes on Facebook and they like talking about the Brewers after, let's say the Brewers went 2-5 or 2-3 in their last 5 games, and they log on, the first thing they see is F the Brewers, trade hater, this team sucks, this team's not going anywhere, send Urias down. Like, seeing all that stuff, like that's just going to dig the hole deeper of negativity. So why would we want to continue doing things the way that people are already doing them?
Well, here's the next level to that too about the Facebook comments. Is there's so many burner accounts now and people making fake accounts trying to go in groups. So
Dude,
how do you even know it's true anymore?
On your thing about fake accounts is people gotta stop sharing the fake quotes. You gotta stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who's reading your quote unquote fake quotes. So when you're sharing a quote of something that nobody actually said, like if you share a quote from Aaron Rodgers saying that we're gonna sweep the North and the Vikings suck and they all drive minivans or something like that, or something obviously that could be a much more hateful thing that a player never even said, just because you're trying to make your rival fans look bad or trying to rival up your rival fans, that could be seen by somebody who doesn't know that that's a fake quote or doesn't know how to check if it's a fake quote. And then you are affecting somebody's real opinion of a player who never said something that you said that they said. People gotta stop doing that. If you see somebody doing the fake quote garbage, Simon's gonna bring up the exact one that I wanted to bring up is the John Morant saying that I'd cook Michael Jordan thing. That was literally reported by Ballsack Sports. That's where that quote came from. A lot of the fake ones that I see come from like Butt Crack Sports. But because people don't check that, all they see is the quote, and they're like, "Oh my God, Kirk Cousins said that Aaron Rodgers would be an average quarterback in the '70s." Like, he never said that, but somebody saw that, didn't know where the quote came from, knowing that it was fake. Now somebody thinks that Kirk Cousins is an asshole.
Well, he almost missed the target on his gender reveal, so I'm just going to bring that up again.
That actually happened, though. Yeah. But, like, I know it happened with Zadarius Smith. Somebody shared a quote that said, like, I'm looking forward to sacking Rodgers. Green Bay is going to regret letting me go. Like, he never said that. Mm-hmm. He never said that. So now Packers fans have bad feelings towards Zadarius Smith that are unbased. There's no basis to them because he never said the thing that you're fake saying that he said.
Now you just open another can of worms, damn it. Can we stop hating players that leave our team? Okay? Zadarius Smith was going to be gone, okay? If you take it and you look at it.
We said that from like week 3 on last year.
He was gone. Gary took his job. He took the damn keys from Zadarius, okay? All we were looking for from Zadarius was a pump up in the playoffs on the pass rush. Okay, we thought we were going to be playing with a lead for every game, apparently, for 60 straight minutes. I don't know why we thought that, but we were very excited for the playoffs, and we just won another Super Bowl, okay? Thank you very much, Aaron Rodgers. But Zadarius Smith lost the job. He's not a run defender, okay? So he's a one-trick pony, and he's very good at it. I'm not trying to take that away from him. But why do we have to hate Zadarius Smith? Why does any Packers fan hate Zadarius Smith? Why does any Packers fan talk anything bad about Chandon Sullivan? Because I've actually seen him talk about Chandon Sullivan. But the thing about Chandon Sullivan is, like, everybody's like, oh, he was trash. He was garbage. Chandon Sullivan was average, in my opinion. He was average to below average sometimes, to above average sometimes, but he was right there in that middle tier. He was okay.
Yep.
We don't have to hate Chandon Sullivan. We don't have to talk shit about Chandon Sullivan.
We don't have to hate MVS. We don't have to hate MVS
we don't have
either.
To hate MVS. Yes, he used to drop some footballs, but we don't have to hate the guy for him because he's not on our team.
That's the thing is, like, I was never super optimistic on MVS. That didn't mean that I didn't want him to succeed, though. Just like this is kind of a weird example because he used to be a rival, but now Mitchell Trubisky is going to have a chance to win the starting job in Pittsburgh. I hope he succeeds, just because it would be funny to see that happen to Chicago, that a guy succeeds somewhere else. Simon brought up Davante Adams. There's no reason that people need to hate Davante Adams because he wanted to go play football with his friend.
Bro, he's playing for his favorite team. He's playing one of his best friends in real life. He's going there because he wants his grandma to watch him play. That's as pure as it gets. He wants his grandma to watch him play football.
And he extended his signing because he got to sign longer with Vegas. Like, there's no reason to be mad at Davante Adams.
Davante gave us 8 great years. I absolutely have no ill will towards Davante Adams. He gave me great memories. That's all I'm going to say. I still love Davante, too. the first couple of weeks, man, just know I'm gonna be going through it, watching Devontae Adams catch passes from Derek Carr.
He's still the best receiver in the NFL. He never was the best in the NFL just because he was on the Packers. He's the best in the NFL because he's the best in the NFL. He still is just because he's in Vegas.
Yeah, he creates separation off the line and
with his feet, not with his hands.
And he catches everything. It is what it is. Devontae's not on our team, but we were able to build more depth with those picks. So it's a win-win for me, truthfully. We get to build the defense, and we got younger at wide receiver, so I'm not mad.
Yep. Yeah. And, Matt's point, they are both in the AFC now, so we have to see them even less. So it's not like, Chandon Sullivan and Zadarius Smith were in the division. EQ is in the division. Lucas Patrick is still in the division, so we have to play them twice a year.
Are you worried about Z if he's lined up against a healthy Bakhtiari? Come on. I'm not worried about a damn pass rusher if they match up against a healthy Bakhtiari.
Yeah.
So
and if Tanya is potentially available at week 1 too, like.
Yeah, and Jenkins, I'm not worried one bit. Jenkins will get beat more than Bakhtiari will, but it's still very rare that he gets beat. And the thing about Chandon Sullivan, if Rodgers wants to pick on Chandon Sullivan, he's going to pick on Chandon Sullivan. We're talking levels here, people, okay? And this level is Aaron Rodgers, the one that's off the screen, and this one's Chandon Sullivan. This is average. So we don't have to worry about that, okay? They went to the Vikings, and the Vikings defense is still bad. So there it is.
Yeah, Simon, I agree with you. You're still going to root for Adams, except for when he plays the Packers. It's like, there's no reason to dislike those people until they give you one. And people sharing fake quotes is not a reason to not like a player. But like I said, people got to stop sharing those. You got to stop. If you see it, call it out because it's garbage, honestly. Like I said, you could affect somebody's real opinion of a player just because they don't know that a fake quote that you shared is fake. And Matt, there's no reason to think that Bakhtiari won't be healthy coming into the season until there's a reason not to. So,
the doctors, I trust the Green Bay doctors. I know that they usually play a lot more safe than a lot of other organizations. But when you're putting that much money and that's a premier position, left tackle is a premier position. So, you're putting a lot of faith in that guy to come back. He has missed the last 2 playoff losses, so that is definitely a reason. No Bakhtiari is definitely a reason we lost those games. I don't care what anybody says. But I think he'll be fine. Even if he doesn't play week 1, I think they're going to wait for Bakhtiari to be fully healthy. They're not going to make the same mistake bringing him back, play a half against the Lions. I think he's going to be just fine. I mean, Rodgers was talking all positivity in the last couple of days when he's at that golf tournament, talking about the wide receivers and stuff. And, taking pictures with fans. I mean, he definitely looked like the asshole that the media picks him out to be.
Oh, yeah.
I think he will be. If I said I wasn't a little worried. We're all a little worried, man. That last year when he missed out on that was tough. Let's get back to
business. Speaking of a little worried, if we're still talking about Josh Hader, like, he's going to be fine. He, like the Brewers, need the All-Star break. They got a 4-game series in San Francisco starting tomorrow. It's going to be Burns, Woodruff, Lauer, and Jason Alexander. So that's a pretty solid 4 guys to put out there. Bottom line is Josh Hader's not going to get traded, especially this year. Next year, if the Brewers are somehow terrible and they're like 10 games under 500 and Josh is a free agent after the 2023 season, if the Brewers are terrible next year for some reason, then maybe Josh Hader gets traded. But if the Brewers are contending again next year, you're probably still not going to see Josh Hader get traded. No. So calm down on the Josh Hader thing. Recency bias is a real thing. People need to calm down on it and examine his season as a full body of work because he's an all-star for a reason. He still leads Major League Baseball in saves, despite Devin Williams also having 5 saves from when Hader was gone. So, I'm not saying you can take all of Williams' saves and give them to Hader if he wouldn't miss those time, but if you did, Josh Hader would have 32 saves, which would be insane. It's not even the All-Star break yet.
Before he went on this cold streak, Josh Hader was damn near unhittable for a while there, man. He was untouchable for a little bit. So.
Yeah, so ups and downs, everybody has them. Getting back to today's game, Ashby, like I said, he's progressing as you'd like to see him. He's getting a little bit better each start. Brad Boxberger worked out of a big jam today. He was second and third, only 1 out. He got a pop up and then a fly out. So Boxberger working out of a jam was encouraging to see after he gave up a couple of runs his last few outings. And getting into Josh Hader today, the Twins had stranded 13 runners before the ninth inning. So it felt like they were going to break through at some point, and it just happened in the last inning. So it is what it is. I don't know if you wanted to say anything else about that today game.
I just wanted to give Jonathan Davis another shout out here. He made another really, really nice catch. He was shaded over to right center, and immediately when the ball came off the bat, he read it and he booked it and went and caught that thing against the wall. I mean, not like his one against the Rays, but he ran this sucker down. I will say,
catch.
He is very nice at putting his head down and relocating the ball and catching it. If there's one thing he's a younger Lorenzo Cain right now. He doesn't hit, and he's great at fielding.
He's got a couple of hits. I mean, he's got a couple multiple hit games, so he's doing okay in that department.
He's all right. I mean, he had an RBI in yesterday's game. So, I mean, his second one, he's
not the long-term answer in center field, but he can fill in for now.
Man, we were just talking about that the other day, man. There's a guy in Double A. I forgot his name. You have his name? What's his name?
You think I want the man? It's Jackson Churio.
Yeah, dude, he's freaking killing, bro.
He is like skyrocketing up the Major League Baseball pipeline top 100 prospects. He's up to number 20.
Yeah, he's
runs batted across. RBA runs batted across.
Yeah,
look at that. I came up with fundamental failures, Jake. You can come up with runs batted across.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks. Pile on.
Tim's got your back.
Yeah, we were just talking about don't kick a guy when he's down. Here's Tim. No, I love kicking people when they're down.
I'm going to catch Jake in his tongue twister. All right, Jake. Go ahead. Give me your power pair pitcher from last week.
All right, my power pair pitcher is Eric Lauer. So this week, he had 5 hits. Or 5 hits. Jesus, I'm still tongue-tied. I need to go to bed. So, anyways, let me restart. I have Eric Lauer because Eric Lauer the last 2 outings has been much, much better. He's throwing a little bit more velocity. He's controlling his stuff. He's not hanging everything. And yes, like I said, I know he gave up a home run in his last 2 starts actually. But he had 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, the 1 walk, which is what I love, and the 7 Ks. So in total, I wrote down his last 2 starts. He has 11 innings pitched, 8 hits, 3 runs, and 16 Ks. So I love that he's striking people out again. He's locating it, he's keeping the ball down, and he's doing much better. He's 6-3 overall with 3.83 ERA, and people are killing this guy. That's all I'm going to say is for everything that's happened this year, there's been a couple consistent guys.
Considering that he would be our 4th starter if Freddie Peralta was healthy, like you would take all of those numbers. Matt's Wednesday evenings are freeing up a little bit. Thanks for tuning in, Matt. Thanks for commenting along. We always appreciate that. That's why we do the shows live. Cody, we talked about that. Hater for Aaron Judge. Yeah, that's clickbait if I ever saw it. Is literally just putting Aaron Judge's name into a quote-unquote Brewers trade just to get somebody to click on it. That's all that is. That's seriously, that's rough. For me, I went with Devin Williams. It's hard to go with anybody but Devin Williams, but I did mention Brandon Woodruff and Hobie Milner both had honorable mentions, but Devin Williams, this is where I got some crazy stats. So he's up to 25 straight scoreless appearances now. Since June 1st, he's only given up 4 hits. He's only given up 4 hits in the last month and a half.
Jesus.
In that time, his ERA has gone from 3.15 to 1.82.
Wow.
Devin Williams hasn't given up an earned run since May 10th.
That's
so since May 13th, he's only given up 8 hits and 8 walks. So 16 base runners in the last 2 months. In that time frame, 37 strikeouts.
If he doesn't make the All-Star team, we riot.
That is, yeah. Wow. 37 strikeouts in the last 2 months.
He also has the most holds in the MLB, too.
He does have that as well. Yep.
They talked about that on the pregame show yesterday, actually. They talked about, all these stats, and guys that are leading home runs, they usually make the All-Star team. The guys that lead in average, they usually make the All-Star team. Why doesn't the guy that's leading in holds lead the All-Star or make the All-Star team? You know what I mean? So Devin Williams is just he's the no-brainer option, in my opinion. And it's not just because I'm a Brewers fan, but if you're looking at stats and you're looking at a guy who's dominant and, one of the best in the game, I would say Devin Williams is in that category.
Yeah, I 100% agree. John said he's not a huge baseball fan, but the Brewers are always a team that's up and down. And that's true. And that's going to be the nature of a team that plays a lot of close games. Mm-hmm. That's just how it's going to be. The Brewers aren't like the Yankees who are going to win a game 19-5 and the next day lose 5-1. That's just not the way the Brewers are. The Brewers are going to play a lot of 4-3 games, a lot of 2-1s, a lot of 3-1s, a lot of close games. That's the Brewers' identity. So they're going to have a lot of up and downs. The thing is, you just can't get too high or too low. Mm-hmm. It's a really generic thing to say, but you can't ride too high or too low. Don't let yourself get to a point where it's like, the Brewers aren't going anywhere. This team's not going anywhere. Or this team's going to win the World Series because they won 3 games in a row in early July.
Yeah.
The season is so long for baseball. So you just got to relax and kind of go with the flow a little bit more, especially with baseball being such a long season. So who is your power pair position player?
So I picked Willy Adames. I mentioned the stat before about him tying the franchise record for most home runs by a shortstop before the All-Star break with 18. Hey, Taylor, what's up, buddy? But this week he went 6 of 20, which is a 300 batting average. So I want people to think about that. 6 of 20. He got 6 hits and 20 opportunities. That is considered really good in baseball. If you go 6 for 20 every week, you're really good.
I said it a bunch of times. Baseball is the only sport where you can fail 70% of the time and be considered really good at your job.
Yeah, it's crazy. He also scored 5 runs, 5 RBIs. He did draw 2 walks. I would like to see him up that number so his on-base percentage can go up a little bit because he does actually run pretty well. So just getting him on base would just be something that would be useful for the Brewers offense. And he also had 2 home runs. Obviously, both of them are solos. My goal for the Brewers after the All-Star break is for them to just hit more 2-run and 3-run home runs because then this team's going to win a boatload of games.
That's totally fair. I'll see what I can do during the All-Star break of trying to figure out ways that the Brewers can just get guys on base more. And the easy answer is to just stand on top of home plate with your back to the pitcher and just let him hit you, and we'll just get a bunch of guys on base with hit by pitch.
Yeah.
For me, I went with Andrew McCutchen in the same time frame. Andrew McCutchen is 7 for 20, so he's batting 3 for 50 in his last 5 games. He has a 5-game hitting streak going. Also, 2 home runs and 5 RBI in the same time frame. Like I mentioned, I've been under the weather for the last week or so. Not quite the last week, but since Sunday, so I don't have a ton of stuff looking for how the Brewers can improve. During the All-Star break, will give us more time to do that just because the Brewers won't be playing every day. But like I mentioned, what's coming next, the Brewers start a 4-game series in San Francisco tomorrow. Burns, Woodruff, Lower, Alexander coming up. And, the Brewers starters are starting to pitch better. All of them, like literally all of them are all starting to turn corners and pitch better. So that's encouraging to see. As far as Adrian Hauser, he started playing catch today, so they expected that to be a couple-week injury with him at least. So he's still going to be out for a little bit. But Adrian Hauser did start playing catch, so he is on track to return. Freddie Peralta's on track to return probably sometime early in August. And then Christian Yelich, he was scratched from yesterday's game. They talked to him today. They said, actually, I should say Yelich himself said that it doesn't seem like it's going to be something that's going to be a long term. They said that they expect him back in the lineup by Friday. So Yelich might get the day off tomorrow after traveling. That's a long plane flight. So he might get the day off tomorrow still. Maybe he'll DH or pinch hit tomorrow or something like that. But they said they expect him back in the lineup on Friday, so it's not something they expect to be a long-term deal. So I think that's everything looking forward. After the 4-game series is obviously the All-Star break, so not a ton to look forward to before that, and then we're into the second half of the season. So
Yeah. So the thing for me when I think about this team, when you think about all the injuries that they dealt with, still in first place, by the way. I wanna beat that into people's heads. Still in first place at this moment. Obviously, we mentioned the 4-game series, so they could not be in first place, by the All-Star break. But still second place for all the injuries that they've had. I would still be happy with that personally. It would
I
suck
think
to give
they're
up the
9
lead.
games over 500 right now, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So
So to me, Willie Peralta's window is August sometime.
Freddie Peralta.
Freddie Peralta. Jesus, I keep saying Willie.
Yeah, it's like the third time in the last 2 weeks.
I know.
That's all right.
Freddie Peralta. Hauser's gonna come back. I mean, we're gonna get healthy, sometime in August, mid-August, I would assume. So we're gonna be healthy right at the time when the Brewers take over in September. So
Greg
we're gonna-
Dember. Yeah.
we're gonna have a bunch of wins in August. We're gonna start gelling. September, we're gonna get hot. People are gonna start being like, "Oh man, is this Brewers team for real? They're scary." So all I'm saying is, let's get healthy. Let's weather this storm. Hopefully, the All-Star break will help Hader out, and I'm excited for the second half. It's gonna be an exciting second half, but don't get too high, don't get too low, people. Let's
Keep
stay
in
right
mind,
here.
we still have like 2.5 weeks before the trade deadline. So
Yeah.
the Brewers can still add pieces between now and then too. And for all the people that don't think that the Brewers have prospects, the Brewers do have some prospects, especially when it comes to outfield. So the Brewers do have some prospects that they can make some deals for. Just temper your expectations when it comes to trades. The Brewers might not go out and get Aaron Judge. Obviously, they're not going to get Aaron Judge. But when it comes to some of the names that have been traded for and have contributed, there's guys out there that the Brewers can go get. There's not a ton of names out there, but Jake and I have talked about a couple. And maybe once it comes down to the week after the All-Star break, maybe Jake and I can talk about some more trade targets as the market heats up a little bit more. But right now it's like Jake said, the Brewers are still in first place. They're still 9 games over 500. No shame in losing a game to the Twins because they are leading their division. Yeah. They are 9 games over 500. They're actually a pretty similar team to the Brewers. So that's that. The Bucks Summer League, they just finished their game. I think I saw that they won today, and then they play their last Summer League game tomorrow. Listen, Summer League does not mean that the NBA is the same. So guys doing well in Summer League doesn't mean that they're going to be beasts in the NBA. It just means that they're playing well in Summer League, and that's all.
Bro, I had the memory pop up the other day of Thon Maker having 17-17 in the Summer League. God. I was so excited for Thon Maker. I was one of those fans. I was like, "Oh my god! Imagine him with Giannis. He's 7'1". He's shooting threes. Like he blocks shots. Like who does that sound like?"
Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, who is a 90 overall on 2K, by the way, as a rookie.
Why? He hasn't even played in the NBA yet.
Yeah, he's a 90.
Wow.
Giannis, the year after he won his first MVP, was the first year he became a 90.
Wow.
Think about that. Okay. Either somebody from the ratings department got fired over the last 4 years,
or they need to,
or I don't know what's happening. Yeah, there's a ghost rating out there. I don't know if it's one of those fake quotes, but I've seen it a bunch actually. That he's the first rookie to get a 90. But yeah, people temper your expectations. I agree with that. But I will say it is nice to watch live action basketball and see them executing some of the play calls. Obviously, this isn't the entire playbook. It's like the preseason for football. They're just out there, running around, getting used to each other, getting the timing down of everything, So
learning some of the system stuff.
I do love watching Mamu ball, man. Watching him go from the back down somebody to a spin dunk.
Yeah,
I don't know. Gets me a little excited. I won't lie.
And he's blocking shots too. Like the one shot that he blocked was a guy who was like a guard that he got switched onto. So like I kind of expect him to block that shot. But the other one he blocked off the backboard. That's a next step defensive play from Mamu, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, but if they are good in the summer, shouldn't they stay good? No. Okay, this is my girlfriend's sister. Hi, Brittany. So summer league is basically like a bunch of guys trying to fight to make it to the league. So it's basically like
all guys that are in like their first and second years in the league.
Yeah. It's like glorified G League, basically. That's just on ESPN. So it's just all the young guys just going at each other. Like I said, they're not running a lot of the playbook. They're running very vanilla basic offense, very vanilla basic defense. So it's just guys getting some workouts in and getting timing. Like I said, how fast does this guy come off the screen? Does he stay for the whole time or does he slip? Does he pop more than he rolls? It's just stuff like that.
I would say like summer league is to preseason what preseason is to the regular season. So you're trying to basically find out what your rookie and sophomore players do well that can translate to the preseason once you start putting them with other rotational players. And then the preseason is when you kind of start tinkering with stuff and you see, what can we run that might work? What can we teach some of the younger guys? And then once the regular season starts, then that's when you're seeing actual season play.
Right. And you find out like, okay, this guy likes to drive right from this spot on the floor. So let's set him up with a play on the right side of the floor, center screen to his left. He can drive left, come back to his right, So there's just things you find out. I mean, and I've had this conversation with my girlfriend. I've had this conversation with you, Brittany, where you guys are just like, oh, it's just throwing a ball to another guy, in football, or it's just taking the ball and putting it in the hoop. There's just so much more to it that you don't see. Like, it's just crazy. Like, if I opened up the playbook and everything came out here, it would flood your entire screen with all the play calls and all the shooting percentages and, where people like certain spots of the floor. Like, there's just so much more to it than people really understand that don't watch sports on a regular basis. And that is what our basics episode is going to cover. I feel like we're going to get really in depth with that.
I'm excited for that. That'll be cool.
That one's going to be fun, man.
I'm gonna try and have pictures to go with that one so we can get really visual with it and kind of explain some X's and O's. So that'll be good stuff.
I'll print off mine as well because me and Tyler are both going to take some personnel groupings in football. We're both going to explain some basketball plays with we're not going to get into it right now, but that one's going to be September 2nd.
September 2nd. Yep.
That's when we're going to do that one. That one's going to be a Friday night. I'm really excited for that one. That one, dare I say that might be my favorite bonus episode so far.
Oh, all right.
Because I love teaching people, and I love teaching people about what I love, and obviously we both love sports. So if we can make people, fall in love and love sports a little bit more, that'll be fun, man.
Yeah, make it so that you when you hear stuff on TV too, you'll be able to understand what some of it is.
Yeah. Let's see what Andrew said. Andrew said Summer League isn't to prove who is going to be a great NBA player. It is to determine who won't be trash. If you're trash in the Summer League, you won't make it. Banchero got taken out of the Summer League in 2 games because of Magic. No, he is at least. Yeah, he's ready. You saw him that first game. I watched the first couple of minutes of that game. I was like, oh, yeah, he's ready for the NBA. He's got the body for it, though. If you look at him, bro, he has an NBA body already. And that's the one thing I think the Magic made the right decision on Chet. And I know it came out that Chet, he dogged it in his workouts and stuff like that. First of all, I'm going to be honest with you. That makes me not like him a little bit. Because who the hell are you?
I would much rather get drafted to Orlando than Oklahoma City, if I'm being honest with you.
And why wouldn't you want to be the first overall pick? Nobody remembers the second overall pick. Everybody remembers the first overall pick, And then, second of all, you're going to the East. So, easier road to the playoffs there. Again, you're in Florida, so you get sunny weather all year round.
Yep.
I mean,
that would be it for me.
All you get in Oklahoma City is tornadoes,
rain, and then eventually some snow.
Yeah, so have fun with that. But
and
I
flat
will
land.
say, Oklahoma City is building a roster, but they should with all those picks.
Well, you'd think they got 94 first-round picks in the last 2 years.
That GM was going crazy. He took the absolute opposite approach of what Minnesota has done.
Simon, that's a good point. No state taxes in Florida, too. That's a good point.
That's why we bring Simon along. He's a smart guy. Smart guy, Simon.
All right, man. Do you have anything else that you want to float out there?
Share our page. Invite more people. Don't
Focus
follow
on quality.
Don't follow Wisconsin Sports Heroics. I need one more for the home run. Tune in on Fridays pretty soon. It's going to be awesome, man. Soon. You guys are really going to enjoy it.
Soon.
Our next episode is going to be fire.
And no more sharing fake quotes. Don't do that.
Yeah, stop doing that. All right, man. You go feel better, all right?
All right, I'll see what I can do.
All right, later.